Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Just a couple of quick housekeeping things. Let's make sure our phones are on vibrate. Uh, Keep the chatter to a minimum. Flat photography. We don't want to disrupt this momentous occasion. But welcome. I want to say these two words that I've been dying to say for the longest time, and that is dearly beloved. We are gathered here today to celebrate, to honor, and to witness my professional debut as a wedding, while at the same time marrying Zach and Crystal. A while ago, they had come to me. I think it was during the holidays, and they had asked me to officiate their wedding, and I was excited. I was a little scared, but I was honored. And they lured me with a bottle of whiskey. But it was from that moment on that I knew, I strove to become the best, the finest wedding officiant of our lifetime. I was going to immerse myself in the wedding officiant culture. I was going to travel, domestic and international, to wedding officiant symposia to meet with the finest of the minds. And I even at one point had a notion, I entertained the thought of joining the priesthood. But then I found the universallifechurch.com, where for $129 and a short online questionnaire, so with that said, if there's any story afterwards, I envision this to be a very lucrative career for me in the for those of you who don't know me, I apologize in advance. I'm John. I am the esteemed uncle of Zachary and the soon-to-be esteemed uncle of Crystal. And it's funny because during their dating, their engagement, Crystal would always ask me if she could call me Uncle John. She would beg me sometimes. I would always politely refuse. I hold the role of uncle. So as long as the next 15, 20 minutes go according to plan, your lifelong dream will become a reality. There's two types of relationships in the world. You've got your chronic daters. These are the people with the high body counts. It takes them 5, 10, 15, 20 times before they find that right person, before they find a match. And you've got, no, I'm not advocating one or the other. They both work. I have friends that got married right out of high school and they're still living, today in wedded bliss. And I have friends that, took them a while to find that right person, but eventually they did, they settled down and all is good. The common denominator between the two is love. Now, there's going to be times that you two do not like each other, and that's perfectly okay. But as long as you love each other, that love is going to rise to the top and get you through this marriage. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I was one of those serial daters, and I asked my father a question. And for any of you who are honored enough to know my father, He was not the most emotional, sensitive, wear your heart on your sleeve type of a guy. But I asked him, I said, Dad, how do you know when you're in love with someone? And he looked at me, the gruff guy that he was, and he said, son, when you lay your head on your pillow at night and the last thoughts that you have are of her, you're in love. When you wake up in the morning and you lift your head from that same pillow and you immediately think of her, you're in love. And throughout the entire day, all of your free thoughts, all of your free time are focused and enveloped around her. You know you're in love. And again, anybody who knows my father knows there's no way in hell he ever would have said any of those things. I completely made that up, but I did hear that somewhere. I did hear that somewhere. And that it does bring truth because that comment is well. So the opposite, we're talking about the love at first sight people. And the story goes that you two had a budding little online romance graduation from high school. First couple of days of school, first week or two of school, Crystal had seen Zachary, and they kind of rekindled that online dialogue. And you know, I think the main theme of what they were talking about was Italian food. Right? More importantly, Crystal's love of the Olive Garden. Now, being from New Jersey, I would not view the Olive Garden as the pinnacle of Italian cuisine, but you're from Florida, so we're gonna. So being the gracious guy that he is, Zach had offered to make her a homemade, authentic Italian meal. Had it been years before that, it probably would have been a can of SpaghettiOs. But over the years, Zach had honed his culinary prowess, and they shared their first meal together. And I think it was after that you guys went on your first date, and the rest is history. So with that said, I want to jump into what I'm going to call Uncle John's wedding marriage words of wisdom. And I wrote these down because I did not want to screw this up. So if you'll just bear with me. So we all know that a good marriage, it's really not organic, right? It takes, you have to create it, you have to cultivate it, you have to kindle it, you have to make it work, right? But in a good marriage, you need to remember these points. You are never too old, you're never too angry, or you're never too tired to hold hands. In a good marriage, it's always remembering to say, I love you. In a good marriage, it's never going to sleep angry. Now, my wife and I used to go to sleep angry all the time. Our rule was we never woke up angry. So either one of those is fine. In a good marriage, it's standing together side by side and facing the world. In a good marriage, it is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. In a good marriage, it's having the capacity to forgive and forget. In a good marriage, it's giving each other an atmosphere in which you can each grow. And finally, in a good marriage, it's the common search for the good and the beautiful in your lives. So with that said, at this point, I would ask Crystal and Zachary to initiate the reading of their vows.
Mi nombre es Alexander Murphy, yo de Cristal, me toca la parte latina, decirlo en español. No es lo mismo, pero voy a tratar de hacerlo más o menos igual y espero que esto tenga subtítulos para entender lo que digo y entender lo que yo voy a decir. So, hermano de Guy, Puerto Rico, cuñado de Cristóbal. Cristal nació en Puerto Rico, vivió en Dorado, pasó buenos momentos en Bayamón, Vaqueras, y algunos de Naranjito, pasó tiempo en Naranjito, fiesta y todo, los changos, y al pasar el tiempo se mudaron a la Florida. Siempre se mudaron las fiestas, las culturas, la tradición, todo la pasamos chévere, y la niña hizo deporte, era muy buena, pero lo hacía, se divertía, y todos estamos claros de que lo hacía para el abuelito. Es un poquito terca y quiso estudiar en esta escuela arte, matemáticas y ciencias. y lo logró. Muy buena, obras de arte. Salió el tío. Yo me acuerdo cuando dice una obra, chiquito, mami, ¿te acuerdas? Yo hice de gato. Idéntica. Tanto así, se graduó, chévere, y siguió. George Washington. Yo quiero estudiar ahí. Pero yo quiero estudiar ahí. Algo había ahí que el futuro, bueno, lo iba a encontrar, pero váyase para George Washington. Más o menos la historia de él, de lo poco que entendí, porque my English no very good looking, pude interrogarlo a él y se parece algo. ¿Cómo se conocieron? Cristal Trinidad, caminando un pasillo. ¿Tú eres Zach? Isaac. Sure. Yeah, sí. Yo te conozco. Ay, te sigo en Instagram. Sigue la conversación, la cosa, la dinámica. Y es que hay la parte que la comida. Me gusta Olive Garden, la comida italiana. Y el chaval le dice, para. No quieren mí. ¿Tú quieres comerte una pasta buena de verdad? Yo te la voy a hacer. Y aparentemente le cocinó bien y le hizo honor a algo que decimos en Puerto Rico, un dicho, que el amor entra por la cocina. Y tanto es así que parece que cocina bueno. Un día estamos aquí presentes celebrando la boda de YouTube.
I guess I'm going first. Dear Zach, it's crazy to think that on this day, 8 years ago, we were sitting at Tonics having terrible tater tots. In those 8 years, we have grown a lot. But what I find the most meaningful is that while we have grown individually, we have grown together as well. We have gone through Thurston Hall together, living cross cities together, to owning a lovely dog together. Shout out Max. To the passing of loved ones together, moving in together on our own for the very first time together, and planning an entire wedding together. And through all of that, I have only come to love you more. It's not just because of the way you love me, but also because of the way you love those that I love. Repeatedly, you have shown up for me, and you have shown up for my people via whether it be cooking for a group of law students through bar prep, or letting my friends crash at the apartment last minute with no warning, to volunteering with 15 minutes of notice to help my ADR team practice, even though I know you hated it. To making chicken parm for my dad after he tumbled down a roof and fell off a cliff. You have always been there for me, cheering me on. From the LSAT to the bar exam, I have always had you in my corner. When my anxiety spirals, you become my calm. You do the cooking because you know that I hate it. You never complain about it. And you always let me ramble on and on about my niche interests, and you actually listen. Your selflessness is the only selfless, not selfish. Selflessness is the thing that I love the most about you, followed by your sheer protectiveness. Throughout the years, you have not only protected me from others, but also from myself, constantly believing in me through all of it. I have trusted you with my past, and I look forward to trusting you with my future. I look forward to both the big and small moments because you make all the small moments feel big. People who knew me before I met you know that I never wanted this. I know that I want to be a big shot attorney married to her job. But I feel so lucky that I met you and you changed those plans. Does anyone have tissues? My life wouldn't be the same without you. And I hope that this next chapter of our life, thank you. And I hope that this next chapter of our lives is as sweet as this one has been. I vow to continue growing with you and never apart. I vow to love you endlessly. I vow to tell you when your hair is getting too long. I vow to always let you have a sip of my cocktail. I vow to always be there for you and make you laugh even in the darkest of moments. I vow to lean into your spontaneity. I vow to always be honest and true. And finally, I vow to always say yes to a cheesesteak whenever you want. I love you and I'm excited to be your wife. And most importantly, as one of our favorite people used to say, Aunt Christine, I I don't just love you, but I like you a lot.
How am I going to follow that? Oh my lord. Okay. Good lord. Okay. Wow. Gotta get my vials out. All right. I have another copy. Crystal, you taste like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like. Oh no, those are Harry Styles lyrics. Sorry. You know I love cracking jokes, but I promise I'll be serious here. Every time you say "I love you" to me, I often respond with a quote by a great fallen soldier, Han Solo, where I reply, "I know." And boy, do I know. These past 8 years have been the greatest moments of my life. You've changed my life in ways that only until recently have become evident. We've been through a lot together. When I'm with you, I am home. I never thought I'd meet someone like you. It's hard to summarize our relationship into one sentence. However, throughout our time together, shockingly, I keep returning to a Beatles lyric. You and I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. And I know we joke all the time about on paper, we're so different. How 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 are we a couple? How does this work? But I know how. We've grown up together. We've experienced life. We've experienced love. We've experienced loss. We experienced mimosas at 10 a.m. nearly every day during the height of COVID with my family. We experienced hiking through the beautiful mountains of Puerto Rico, only to come back, turn on the TV, and go, dude, man, they stormed the Capitol? What? What? Oh, okay. We've experienced some of life's greatest challenges. After all that we've been through, I know for a fact that there's no one else on this planet that would rather have by my side than you. You've taught me empathy. You've taught me to look for the light in others. You taught me to keep on the sunny side of life. But most importantly, you and your lovely family have taught me the beauty of lechon, which, for the gringos in the crowd, the, the process is slow roasting a pig over fire for a plethora of hours, and then eating that same pig with one of the most loving and welcoming families I've ever had. In fact, your mom once said to me at a Three Kings Day, I'm marrying the only Puerto Rican in our family that doesn't know how to cook. You've introduced me to worlds that I did not know existed, and I to you, because I've taken you to too many Grateful Dead shows. I promise to protect you. I promise to be your best friend. I can't promise to solve all your problems, but you will not walk alone when facing them. And I know for a fact that I can conquer the world with one hand, but I can't do it without you holding the other. Eres el amor de mi vida.
Woo. I want you guys to stick together. There's 3 rings to a marriage. There's the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. So we hope that the latter is kept to a minimum. Do you, Zachary, take Crystal to be your lawfully wedded wife, to share your life openly, standing with her in sickness and in health, in joy and in sorrow, in hardship and in ease, to cherish and love forevermore?
I do.
And do you, Crystal, take Zachary to be your lawfully wedded husband, to share your life openly, standing with him in sickness and in health, in joy and sorrow, in hardship and ease, to cherish and love forevermore, even during fantasy football draft season.
I do.
To make your relationship flourish, it's going to take love. And that's the common core of this marriage. And that's why you're here today. It'll take the ultimate trust to know that in your hearts, you truly want what is best for each other. It'll take dedication to stay open and true to one another and to learn and grow with one another. And it'll take faith to go forward together blind without knowing exactly what the future brings. And it will take commitment to hold true to the journey you have both pledged today, again, even during fantasy football draft season. Do we have the rings? We got it. So again, by the ultimate wedding officiant power invested in me, I'm honored to pronounce you husband and wife. Zachary, you may kiss your bride. All right, wait, one more thing to it. I could discuss one more thing. So there was a lot of talk today about, this interesting dichotomy of personalities. On one hand, you've got Crystal. She is this zesty spitfire. She's always on, unless she's napping. And you've got Zachary. He is more of the everything is going to be fine, don't worry about it type of guy. Nothing bothers him. Everything is fine. And I was trying to find a way to basically typify this relationship in one thing. And we had talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we said we were going to do it through the means of sharing their first cocktail as a married couple. So what I did was I spent quite an amount of time online. I was trying to find a cocktail that kind of enveloped a Puerto Rican rum and an Irish whiskey. And there's something that's called an old monk, and it's almost like a fruity old fashioned. So with that said, I had the bar lift this up. Alex, are you holding something? Oh, you know me? Yeah. Okay. Want to join me in celebrating this union? You're not taking this up, please. I didn't say it was a good joke.
And boy, I didn't love you when I did. Can't believe you played me out like that. No, you ain't worth, yes, please. Well, that's what I love. You can't. You can't keep lying to yourself like this. Can't believe you play yourself like this. But correct, nobody stand in between me and my man. Mr. Jones. Hurry up.
And a huge congratulations to Crystal and Zach. Everyone is now invited to Cocktail Hour. It's on the other side of this building. You go up the steps, around the building, and you can find some drinks and hors d'oeuvres. Todos están invitados ahora a Cocktail